Hi, I'm Matt Tamelo, the Safety Programs Manager of the Fairfax County, Virginia Fire and Rescue Department. Firefighters are often exposed to environments that are filled with unknown chemicals, toxins, and carcinogens. Carcinogens, as byproducts of combustion, come in contact with firefighter skin through penetration of and cross-transfer from our personal protective equipment, or PPE. Firefighters can also be exposed through inhalation from the environment and off-gassing of PPE after the incident. This has become even more hazardous with the increased use of synthetic materials found in modern home furnishings. It's shown that gross decontamination, or cleaning the gear on the fire ground, can be an effective way to decrease carcinogen exposure for our firefighters. This video will illustrate the best practices for post-fire decon in our continued effort to protect our firefighters.
Decontamination reduction kits can be found on truck companies and safety officer vehicles. The buckets are orange in color to help personnel easily identify where decontamination will take place. In most cases, this will be near the first engine. Contaminant reduction can be set up from a discharge on the engine or tanker, the warm water recirculator on some engines, or even a home or business hose bib during mild climate seasons. Personnel should use the supplied garden hose and nozzle. The lower water pressure eliminates the possibility of embedding particulates and toxins further into the fabric of our PPE.
The firefighters exiting the building should check their air supply, with the person with the least remaining air going through the decontamination procedure first. If the entire crew is critically low on air, decon should be expedited with the assistance of outside crews. Refrain from removing breathing apparatus if possible to reduce chances of additional inhalation contamination exposure. Firefighters should loosen their waist, shoulder, and helmet straps so that both sides of the straps and the coat or garment underneath can be cleaned. Use the buddy system to ensure the neck collar is properly worn and closed. It is important to keep water out of the inside of the garment. Using the brushes included in the contamination reduction kit, firefighters will wash all surfaces with soap and water as thoroughly as possible, including the bottom of boots. A final rinse removes all soap and contaminants.
Firefighters should use the mild soap that is provided. According to a study in the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Hygiene, wet soap decon is the most effective and decreases contamination by 85%. Dry brush decon is the second most effective, decreasing contamination by 23%. Air-based decon is the least effective, with a reduction of just 0.5% in contaminants.
You may be wondering if PPE that is wet from cleaning will cause steam burns if a firefighter needs to re-enter a hazardous environment. The short answer is no. A 2020 study by the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami found that when PPE is worn properly, with the collar cinched, steam burns are not likely. The 3 layers of PPE, which consist of the outer shell, the moisture barrier, and the thermal barrier, work to keep water away from the body, making it possible to go back into a hazardous environment or to run another fire emergency.
Before proceeding to rehab, firefighters will remove their gear in a systematic way. Firefighters will keep their gloves on while staying on air to remove their hood. Keep your shoulder and waist straps loose and remove the cylinder from your body. While kneeling, place the SCBA pack on the ground. After removing the SCBA pack, reach with gloved hands to the outside of your hood where it goes underneath your coat. Grab your hood with 2 hands, pull it over your head. Press the docking switch. You can now remove your mask, hood, and regulator in one piece. Remove your gloves in the same way that you would remove EMS gloves, attempting not to touch the outside. Use the wristlets to pull your coat off, minimizing direct exposure to the coat. If staffing permits, you can have someone assist you in removing your gear. Removing your gear with a plan can help reduce your exposure to surface contaminants, especially during hood removal.
After systematically removing gear, firefighters will report to rehab, where they will have their vitals taken and receive decontamination wipes. Decon wipes help remove any contaminants that may have penetrated firefighters' PPE or touch a firefighter's skin while they were removing their gear. It's important to note that Decon wipes cannot replace a thorough soap and water cleaning. Firefighters should wash their hands or use Decon wipes before eating or drinking, and should shower within the hour after clearing the fire ground.
Before leaving rehab, firefighters will obtain EMS gloves and an N95 mask. After donning your gloves and mask, move your gear to the drop area and clean any remaining tools after personnel have been through decontamination.
It's important that we leave our gear in the drop zone for as long as possible. Firefighting PPE will be contaminated with various toxic compounds during firefighting. Some of these compounds will off-gas following an incident, which could result in inhalation exposure. A scientific study found that gear can off-gas for up to 1 hour post-fire. After you have completed cleaning your tools, use the provided plastic bags to bag your gear while still wearing your N95 and EMS gloves. These bags are a specific thickness to protect you and prevent any off-gassing compounds from escaping. Personnel should place their gloves in the bag first, then fold their coat to prevent any additional items from touching the inside liner. After placing the coat in the bag, place your pants on top and your helmet to the side, shell facing inward. The firefighter will then spin the bag tight and use duct tape to secure it. Fold over the loose end and tape the bag back on itself.
Firefighters will proceed to their apparatus with their bagged gear and place it in an area outside of the cab, such as an exterior compartment, a hose bed, rescue company rear box, or other storage area. Do not put soiled gear or equipment into the apparatus cab. Placing dirty equipment into the cab will expose you and other firefighters through cross-contamination. It's important to shower within the hour of clearing the fire ground. Return to operational readiness and maintain a clean cab by only placing decontaminated SCBA equipment and clean PPE in the cab.
To maintain a clean cab, it is essential to clean the SCBA before returning it to the apparatus. Extend all straps out to their maximum length. Disconnect the mask-mounted regulator at the quick disconnect. Remove the cylinder from the air pack and reattach it, oriented 180 degrees in the opposite direction. Make sure the cylinder is completely and firmly mounted in the snap change receiver. Open the cylinder valve and pressurize the reducer. This will keep high-pressure air locked inside all components and helps to prevent water from working into the O-rings, seals, and weep holes. Hose the pack off with a gentle stream of water and scrub the cylinder, back frame, reducer, and straps with the soapy brush provided in the exposure reduction kit. All electrical components of the air pack are completely sealed. It is okay to get them wet, but avoid immersing them. Rinse the pack with clean water until no soap remains and all the dirt, mud, carbon, insulation, debris, and products of combustion are removed. Towels can be used to assist in speeding the drying process by removing excess water. Connect the mask-mounted regulator to the quick disconnect hose. Close the cylinder valve and open the purge valve on the mask-mounted regulator to bleed the pressure off the system.
The goal of our decontamination procedure is to lower the cancer risk for our personnel. For this to occur, it will require all of us to adopt new procedures and change our culture. Being adaptive and willing to accept these changes is an integral part to ensuring the health of our firefighters. Thanks for watching.